All right, so not really much to report on today. Technically, my strategies actually did not even have an entry today, but I just want to keep in the habit of making a report every day. So you can see the accounts are each up 10 points. It's 10 points on these two micros here. One of the strategies ended up taking a short right here for those 10 points. But as you can see, it's not actually loading onto the chart. And I think that the reason for this, in fact, maybe we can confirm, this is not the most consistent thing in the world, but maybe we'll give this a shot and try to confirm. Ah, yeah, there we go. So it's very important to have everything set up correctly. So you can see here's the winning trade that was on the chart. Let's see what happens if we change this to 3 days. Yep, and now the loser's gone. Okay, so basically what happened here is that because I don't have enough data loaded onto the chart, these strategies use indicators to get them into trades. Believe it or not, we use default NinjaTrader indicators rather than anything proprietary, just to avoid a situation where if we wanted to share these with somebody, they wouldn't be able to use them unless they paid for an indicator. So we use built-in indicators or free open source indicators. So depending on how much data you load onto the chart, some of those indicators may not calculate exactly the same. For example, if you were to use a moving average, I don't really use moving averages, certainly not as entry points, but as a directional filter. Let's say you use a 233 moving average. It's going to either not appear on the chart or appear in a different place depending on how many bars you have loaded onto the chart. VWAP is another great example. If you start loading VWAP right at this moment here, it's going to be in a different place than if you had started loading it from the beginning of the day. So I think what happened was, due to not having enough data loaded onto the chart, I initially this morning had it set to 3 days. I didn't get triggered into the trade on earn to trade. And I did over here on my Apex accounts. So what I did is I came to the chart and switched it to 10 days, just ensuring that we definitely have enough data. When you have 3 days and you're coming out of a weekend, you're not going to have very much data. So this is just Friday and today, I believe, or maybe it's yesterday, Sunday night to today. No, it looks like it's Friday. So yeah, so that's what happened. In this case, fortunately, it worked out in my favor, but that's not always going to happen. So if we look at the strategy's performance, when we have only 3 days loaded onto the chart, this is what we get. Now let's say we go ahead and load, let's say 30 days onto the chart. It's going to look very different. We don't get triggered into any trades this morning. So this is a good example to show you just how sensitive these strategies actually are. Very important you have everything configured correctly. You're loading enough data onto the chart. I'm glad this happened today. Glad it was a winning trade and worked out in my favor, because now we know something we didn't know before. I mean, in theory, I kind of had the idea of why this happened, but it wasn't something I had thought about until this moment where I got triggered into a trade on one chart and not on another that were supposedly identical. So yeah, so good situation to learn from. Very fortunate that it worked out to be a winning trade, even though we made an error. So that's all I have to say today. 10 points across all these accounts. None on earn to trade, unfortunately, today. But hopefully we'll get triggered into some, and hopefully tomorrow will be another green day. Talk to you all soon. Thanks for watching.